Let me start out by saying,
No, go ahead. No, I was going to ask you to address it.
okay. Let me start out by saying that we as judges, most of us, can do better. We can. We are the ones that when a litigant comes into the courtroom, we have that clout to ensure at the point that the person comes into court. Now, there are other instances, and Norm pointed those out, where before the person gets to court, that the right of counsel attaches. But when that person comes to court, if we see that that person is not represented, doesn't have access to an attorney, we need to appoint a lawyer, whether it's the public defender's office, if that's possible, or the private bar. In Shelby County, where I am located, we do have a pretty strong public defender system. It's still a little bit understaffed and underfunded, but we have a strong public defender system, and we also have a strong appointment system of the private bar. So it doesn't get too far out of hand. But when you have lawyers that are experienced and you use those same lawyers over and over again, that does get to be a bit tiring. And you end up stretching those lawyers out of sync, so to speak, the same way that you do with public defenders. Now, when I first started, I talked about an old black and white movie, and you know, that was 1941. We had problems back then, and we still have problems now. I just want to mention a case that came out of my home state of Tennessee, out of Nashville, where a former Memphis resident had been convicted in two of Nashville's most notorious cold cases, a murder case and a rape case, two murder cases. And he petitioned the courts for release based on several claims, including that his trial attorney wasn't ineffective. Now, the court appointed a new attorney for him, but even that lawyer never spoke with Barrett before the hearing. He also did not investigate Barrett, who is the defendant's claims, or subpoena any witnesses to testify at the hearing. We got to make sure that we're appointing competent, effective counsel to our litigants. And then when Barrett asked, this is us, when Barrett asked the judge to either postpone the hearing or let him represent himself, the judge ignored Barrett's request and told him to have a seat. What are we doing? Are we a part of the solution, or are we a part of the problem? And in this instance, and too often, we are a part of the problem. I think sometimes that we as judges, we want to move our cases on, we want to be efficient, we want the public to see that we are moving these cases, and we don't want to take the time to make sure that everybody that comes before us is taken care of. We just don't do it. And so there may be some jurisdictions that don't have that problem. But for those of us that do, we must do better. And we must reach out and ensure that there are resources, maybe even a pro bono system set up where lawyers will take some cases. Depending upon the type of cases that they are, some lawyers will readily jump to accepting some of the pro bono. But they're not going to accept, especially when they're in private practice, cases that are going to be so time consuming, a murder case, that they're not able to make any money off of it. So that's 6 in one hand and half a dozen in the other. But as a judge, I am ready to step up to the plate. And I think the rest of us should also be ready to step up to the plate and do what we need to do to ensure that the system is working for the litigants that come before us. I got a whole lot more that I could say, but I'm going to pass it on.
We got a question here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I've been in over 44 years as an attorney, judge, and I've sort of been in the civil arena. So this has been very eye-opening, and I thank you all for this information.